Hello and welcome. My name is Commander Crimshadow, and this week I'm excited to say that following the success of the September update, we're finally moving forward to another Interstellar initiative. For those of you that are just coming back, or for those that haven't been keeping up with things over the last month, I wanted to review the background info leading up to this Interstellar initiative, the Scourge. So way back on the 6th of September, there was a Galnet article that talked about the finale of the Alliance Festival of Culture. In it was a throwaway line saying that, despite some companies experiencing difficulty sourcing ingredients, following lower than expected harvests in some systems, the event was still a success. This was followed by the Week in Review post 2 days later that reiterated by saying that suppliers managed to overcome initial concerns that low harvests in nearby systems would impact the festival. The next week, we had our first Galnet article specifically about potential crop failures. We're introduced to the Interstellar Association for Agriculture, the IAA, and to one Dr. Genevieve Kane, who we hear more from as we go on. She reports that the systems Diso and Orerve are reporting significant crop failures, and also mentions that these shortages are not unique to Allied space. We also see a mention to newly proposed synthetic treatments to increase the sustainability of essential harvests. This, of course, led to the now infamous Rockforth Fertiliser. Now, I won't be getting into the fertilizer too much, other than to say that we see the Rockforth Corporation moving forward with the distribution of the fertilizer prior to being able to be signed off on as safe by the IAA, and a message from Dr. Kane saying that this fertilizer shouldn't be used until it is certified. The following week, we hear from Dr. Kane again saying that while Rockforth has been in regular communication with the IAA, Rockforth has failed to provide the regulatory compliance information. This coming at the same time as Rockforth reports record sales of their fertilizer. At this time, players also started seeing very high payout source and return missions asking for Rockforth fertilizer. Then last week, we hear that poor harvests have begun to affect the civilian populations of, quote, core systems, mentions specifically the scarcity of fresh fruit and vegetables. This leading to the stockpiling of staples and price fluctuations. The Rockforth Corporation waded in with a comment stating that they would fulfill the IAA's standards request at the earliest opportunity, meaning that they still hadn't done it. Players at that time were able to notice that the quantities of supply of food commodities like fruit and vegetables had decreased. That brings us to this week. On Sunday, we heard from Dr. Kane of the IAA again, who informed us that while they have confirmed that the systems of decay are identical across systems, and share genetic similarities to known pathogens, the exact identity of the disease is unknown. This brings us to yesterday, with the beginning of the Scourge Interstellar Initiative, starting with 2 community goals, calling for pesticides, synthetic reagents, and grain to the 2 originally mentioned systems, Diso and Orerve. Another article went up today, stating that civil unrest had broken out in several systems, specifically mentioning Earth-like worlds found in those systems. Upon inspection with the system map, this does appear to be the case, with every faction in Diso showing civil unrest. Orerve does not seem to be suffering equally, but that may change in the coming days. So that's all we have currently from in-game sources. Speculation abounds. Does the Rockforth Corporation have a hand in these mysterious plant illnesses? Have the Thargoids changed tactics and are now using a biological weapon against our food production? Is it some other nefarious villain that we haven't heard of yet? Well, no matter the case, I'm sure we'll find out more in the coming weeks as the Interstellar Initiative continues, so join me again next time for another video where I'll be jumping so you don't have to.